Good morning. I am Kevin Price. Glad to be back in the saddle again. Had a great time in Boston. Hard to believe. It's a crazy, crazy story. I might take a few minutes to talk about it later on in the program, but my wife, for my birthday, gave me a trip to Boston for my birthday. Well, in January? Really? But anyway, it's a long story. We had an awesome time, and we'll talk a little bit about it later on in the program. But I'm going to talk a little bit about our ongoing Inc. 5000 series that we've been working on. Aaron Lee, he's our next guest, and he's with a company called Illumination Studios. And the reason why we're doing him is that the Inc. 5000, is made up of companies that really have done an extraordinary job in the selling arena and have seen often J-curve type growth, and we want to focus on those companies, and maybe we can garner some secrets for your companies to take your business to the next level. And Aaron, welcome to the program. Why don't you start with the elevator speech about what your company's all about?
Thanks, Kevin. I appreciate you having me on the show today. So our company was formed actually 15 years ago, and we are a full-service digital marketing agency here based in South Florida and in the Miami area. And today we have 20 professionals working on a variety of services for businesses. So marketing strategy, creative, programming, communication, social media, digital marketing, and advertising. And we're very, very excited to have been recognized to be on the Inc. 5000 this year, and also just were named a best place to work here in South Florida. So,
congratulations. How old is the company again?
15 years, actually. It's January 31st is our 15-year anniversary.
Wow, that's fantastic. And so you were kind of cutting edge, I guess, because there wasn't still a whole lot going on as far as the type of work you're doing on the web as a platform at that time.
Yeah, really, the company, I was working for a startup, internet.com startup in the late 90s, as many of my peers were. And when I saw the way that was going, and decided it was time to put fate in my own hands and started my own business. And there was a lot of opportunity back then, actually, to service companies that still needed to do digital and web design and development, but there was a lot of questions as to what the best approach was coming out of the 90s and in the early 2000s. So,
well, excellent.
We tried to capitalize on that.
How would you explain, first of all, what kind of growth did you have that got you acknowledged by Inc. 5000?
Yeah, so it was funny. For the first, many years, we were a small web design and creative design shop, and we had a few select clients, and we kind of grew steadily over the years. And it mirrored my path sort of as an entrepreneur as well. And for many years, I say I owned a job versus owning a company. And about 5 years ago, I really the light bulb kind of started to go off that I needed to change that relationship and treat the business more like a business and not just a profession that I owned. And that's really when the business really started to grow exponentially.
You kind of went from self-employed to true business owner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it was a really important distinction that there was sort of a ceiling on the business until I made that leap mentally, and it allowed the whole business to really the secret was getting out of the way of what the business wanted to do.
What did that
had a stranglehold on it.
Aaron, what did that practically look like, getting out of the way?
Well, really, what one of the big catalysts for it, honestly, was I was invited to join an organization called the Entrepreneurs Organization, which is a global network of entrepreneurs in a sort of a peer-to-peer learning environment. And that exposure to other entrepreneurs really changed my relationship when I saw and understood how other business owners were relating to their business, and even as professionals as well, too. To really start putting in those fundamentals of people and process and stepping away from the business. Honestly, it forced me to not be in my business on a day-to-day basis. And that really allowed me to let other people take control of things that I didn't need to be in control of.
What was the name of that organization again?
It was called the Entrepreneurs Organization. It's been around about 25, 26 years, and it's I actually become very involved in it, and the chapter here in South Florida has about 175 members in it. It used to be known as YEO. There's a few of those organizations out like YPO and YEO, and they actually dropped the Y a few years ago from being the Young Entrepreneurs Organization once most of the members got to be in their 40s, they decided that the Y was no longer necessary. But it lives on as EO, an entrepreneurs organization, and it really, like I said, I get together with a group of 7 other entrepreneurs on a monthly basis, and we can share and learn from each other's experiences. And the entrepreneurship road can be a lonely road. There's not a lot of people that have that shared experience that you can talk to on a regular basis and learn from. Even your closest friends, while they're your closest friends, they can't always understand what, making payroll every week means.
Oh, yeah.
And
especially if they're just employees, but even if they're
live your life from.
Even if they're self-employed, they may not understand what that looks like, because they have, probably nothing but contract employees, if any. And so they have no idea what the pressure's like, and you get paid last. All those vendors and some of your vendors and all of your employees get paid before you do, or you won't have any. And so it's an interesting challenge. Aaron Lee, and it's Illuminati
Studios.
Illuminati Studios. I've messed it up now every time. I'm so glad you finally fixed it. Illuminati Studios. That's IlluminatiStudios.com. It's exactly like it sounds. And check it out, ILLUMINATI Studios.com. And again, as we wrap it up, final thoughts on your part, Aaron, before we let you go.
Yeah, I think the key to high growth is letting other people perform and having those right people on the bus in the first place. It's all about the people, and understanding what your role is in that and being a great leader so that other people can become leaders themselves is the key to really letting go and letting your company grow.
Well, I think you did a fantastic job. And again, my apologies on the name butchering. Illuminati Studios. That's IlluminatiStudios.com. Make sure you check it out. Interesting company, interesting concept. Really loved what you shared. Remind me a lot of the work of Robert Kiyosaki, who's been a guest several times on my show, the cash flow quadrant. A lot of people, 80% plus of all the wealth is in the hands of around 20% or maybe as few as 10%. And the difference is how they make their money. And that's really the number one difference. And really an excellent tell on your part on how you went from self-employed, which is really on the wrong end revenue-wise, to becoming a true business owner. And what a neat journey that's been.
Thank you very much, Kevin.
You bet. All right. Again, do want you to check out Aaron and his work over there, Illuminati Studio. That's Aaron Lee, one of the Inc. 5000's guests that we're continuing to do a series on. When we come back, we're going to have more for you. I do want to remind you, best content here shows up over there at the national news website, usdailyreview.com. While there, like it on Facebook, follow it on Twitter.